to Yogaxpress. It's all about moving the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. Before I introduce our guest teacher today, I'd like to acknowledge my crew. We have Antonio, Lizette, and Nuriel. The only reason I'm not saying their last names, Nuriel, I've forgotten how to pronounce your last name, but thanks, guys. Antonio Camacho, Lizette Perez, and Nuriel Zolozaza. If I said it wrong, Nuriel, I apologize. I will practice enough and get it right the next time. Also, thanks to Corey Bryce, our facilitator, for setting up the studio lights and sounds. We really appreciate that you make us look so good out here. Now for the big moment everyone's been waiting for. You're wondering who is this personal trainer doing on the mat with Banu in the studios right here. Gregory Knopp. Gregory is a yoga instructor, and I'm going to have him tell you more about what he does and where he teaches. Meanwhile, you also have his credits right there on the screen, so stay in touch with Gregory. flowbk.com is your
That's
website.
right.
And your Instagram is Gregory_Knopp, Knopp.
Yep.
Correct. So we got that. So Gregory is on social media. He also has a website, so check him out. But in the meantime, Gregory, tell me something. I know we had a chat before we came on today. And I wanted to know more about your background, where you trained, where do you teach right now. I know you have taught in different corporate buildings. Do you teach one-on-one? Where do you teach?
Yeah, so I teach at a couple places. I teach at a yoga studio in Prospect Heights,
Okay,
Prospect Heights Yoga on Monday nights.
right.
And I also teach for a company called Home, where
Okay.
we teach in different corporate and residential spaces,
Right,
which is
right.
free for the residents.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So these are residents as in commercial residents, the companies? Or is
No,
it
these are
private?
buildings. So some are residential buildings,
Okay,
and for anybody who lives there, we offer classes a couple times a week,
right,
and sometimes at corporate offices as well.
right. Okay. So there's a company called Home, as in HOME?
No E, HOM.
Oh, okay, okay. So when you teach these residents in the buildings, do you actually structure your lessons for the residents depending on their age, their ability level?
So
How
we
do you
always try to have classes very accessible
Right.
because we have all kinds of students that walk in through the door.
Yeah.
And some have been very athletic, they've been practicing for a long time. Some people are
Right.
just trying it because it's in their building, so we try to give
Right,
a lot
and
of
it's free.
It's free, yeah, so we give a lot of modifications, a lot of options,
Right.
but at the same time trying to challenge those who want to be challenged.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's about what's up here, right? If they want to feel a little more, you would help them out, right?
We try,
Well,
yeah, definitely.
I'm hoping you'll
That's the
stay
goal.
with simple stretching today, because I have my limitations, but I'm not going to preempt anything because I know that if I want to try something a little harder, I will. But I'm going to make sure that I don't disappoint you guys. But Gregory is always there, so in case I'm not able to get into the full posture, you will show viewers, right?
Sure.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I've been teaching for a couple of years,
Okay.
teaching yoga for a couple of years. I was really interested in anatomy, so I did anatomy for yoga teachers course, which was 9 months
wow.
long. And
Where's
another,
that?
so it's a school, actually Upper West Side.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on. Keep going.
And then the other training that I really thought was valuable was I did an accessible yoga training.
What is that?
So kind of what we talked about earlier. Basically teaching you how to teach to anybody who walks into your space for a class.
Okay.
Whether
Say
it's
that
somebody,
again.
so it's accessible yoga.
Accessible yoga. Okay. And when you talked about anatomy, and I'm scribbling my notes now because I may have questions for you at the end of the show
Sure.
as well, depending on how we go. You talked about anatomy, so you will be able to help people see which part of their body is benefiting from a certain stretch,
Sure.
right?
Definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
that definitely helps, and I like anatomy too, except that I don't know enough. So I'm counting on
There's
you.
never enough.
Never
to know.
enough. Counting on you. What do you have planned, or do you want to go with the flow? It's up to
Maybe
you.
we'll do a slow flow class, focus
I'm
on
ready.
breathing and see
Okay.
where it goes.
Okay, let's get
Perfect.
started.
Okay. So let's get started. Find a comfortable seated position. You can
Okay.
sit on your heels. You can sit cross-legged. If you wanted to use a block or a cushion, that's great as well. The goal is try to sit with a tall spine and wherever you can feel comfortable. Close your eyes. Just relax your shoulders down. And take 3 slow breaths. as you open your eyes. You can take a few circles of the head, stretching the neck. Just a couple slow, gentle circles, switching directions now.
I can hear a few pops in my neck.
That will happen. And then as you come back to center, begin to roll your shoulders back. You can inhale as you bring the shoulders up, and then exhale as you bring them down. And then switch directions, so rolling the shoulders forward. And on the next inhale, bring your arms up. So inhaling the arms overhead, you can look up. And just begin to rotate your wrists as you gradually bring the arms down.
Oh, I like this. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good to mobilize your major joints before any kind of movement practice. And you can switch directions here. I'm getting some good pops.
So are those pops just air pockets? Do I need to worry about it?
A lot of times it's air pockets, sometimes it's a ligament.
Oh, okay.
But it's usually just making a noise as it passes over the bone. From here you can interlace your fingers, bring your palms forward, try to let your shoulders come forward and press through the index fingers. You can round your spine and squeeze the air out. And as you inhale, reach the arms overhead, look up, really filling up. Exhale as you bring the hands forward, and then inhaling up. Now let's do that twice more. Try to take really deep breaths here. And then from here you can place your hands on the ground and find the tabletop position. So your shoulders are over your elbows over your wrists. If this bothers your wrists, you can also use your fists or walk your hands a little forward. Stacking your hips over the knees. We'll begin with some cat-cows here. So as you inhale, arch the back and look up. And as you exhale, round down, push the floor away, tuck in the tail. Inhaling up, and then exhaling down. And continue like this a few more times. Try to breathe deeply. And just let the pace of your breath set the pace of your movements. Take one more cycle.
I could go on forever. It feels so good.
This one is good, yeah. Coming back to tabletop. So from here, press into your left hand and reach your right arm forward. Reach your left leg back. So if the left hip came up, see if you can bring it down so the hips are level. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, round. Bring the elbow to the knee or the inside of the thigh to the inside of the arm. Inhale as you stretch. And then exhale as you round down. Inhale as you stretch. And one more exhale. From here, bring the hands down. Keep the left foot in the back. Place the left foot completely down on the mat, so the pinky side of the foot is aligned to the short side of the mat. And you can take your right leg to a bit of an angle. Press into the right hand, and then inhale the left arm up, and stretch it back.
Nice transition. I like that. I thought I was going to get into some fancy.
No, nothing fancy today. And as you exhale, bring the left hand under the armpit, but stay upright, so not too far. Inhale as you stretch up. So feel free to reach the hand back to really open up the chest as you inhale. And then round down for the exhale. Let's do it 3 more times. And then one more inhale. Now when you come up, pause here for a second, reach your left hand further back, and then come to stand up. reach the right arm up and tilt back. Try to let all the spaces between the ribs open up. As you exhale, lower down. Try to do this with control. And then reach the left hand forward, palm faces down. Inhale as you come up. And then exhaling down. And 2 more times. Now from here, come back to tabletop. And then once ready, reach your right arm forward this time, left leg back. Stabilize the hips, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, round.
Did we do that side before?
We did the opposite side, no?
I did this side. Maybe
Oh.
I didn't hear you correctly.
Let's switch sides then.
Okay.
Okay, so left hand forward, right leg back, deep inhale, and then round. Inhale as you stretch, and then round. And then twice more.
It's interesting one side for me has a greater reach than this side is not really reaching.
That often happens. And you're right, we didn't do this side yet. Now you can place your hands down, right foot goes back, place it down completely and swing the left leg a bit to a side. Press into the left hand and reach the right arm up, stretch it back, and then exhale as you round. Try to get all the air out as much as you can. And then inhale as you reach up, exhaling down. And then 2 more times. Now pause up here, begin to reach your right hand back, tilt to stand up, and then reach the left hand up and back, so the left palm faces the back. Good. Deep inhale. Exhale as you lower down. Try to do this slowly with control, so you're using less momentum. And then reach the right palm forward, right overhead. Yeah, palm faces down, good. And then inhaling up. And exhaling down. 2 more times like this. Almost like a windmill motion. And then once more. And bring both hands down. And then just coming back to that tabletop position. Okay, so as we're going to put some weight into the hands, try to focus on these 4 corners. You have 2 at the heel of the hand, you have the index finger mount, pinky finger mount. So try to press all 4 corners down. And let's do something together first. So keep your elbows straight and let your chest just kind of collapse down. Remember what this feels like, and let's do the opposite. Push the floor away. So chest lifts up, the back broadens slightly. Curl up your toes. Now try to keep this, press into the 4 corners, lift up the knees 2 inches away from the ground. Okay, we have 20 minutes left.
I'm holding it for 20 minutes.
All right, take a deep inhale here.
Oh, this is really going to
Exhale for downward
give me a
facing
nice
dog.
12-pack down from 18.
So feel free to pedal your feet out here. Just stretching slightly, checking with the body. And then as you bring some stillness to the posture, notice your hands again. Try to press into all 4 corners, especially the index finger. Go for a long neutral spine, so you're not rounding, you're not arching. And begin to reach the heels towards the ground. Let's take 2 breaths here. And then slowly begin to walk your feet towards the front of the mat. We'll meet up in a forward fold. So just let your head go, grab for opposite elbows. You can bend your knees slightly, that usually helps with taking some of the pressure off the lower back. And just spend another 2 breaths here, just really letting the head hang low. And then as you inhale, come into a half lift. So go for a long neutral spine. Try to be broad at the shoulders. For this version, look forward and down so the back of the neck stays long. As you exhale, come into a forward fold. Bring your arms out wide to a T, and then hinge up as you stand up, and then look up. You can bring the palms together. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. As you inhale, reach the arms overhead. And then bend the knees slightly as you forward fold. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale down. And then reach your arms out wide as you hinge up to stand up. Exhale your hands to heart center. Now from here, inhale your arms to the side and up. Keep the arms open. Keep the fingers wide and spiral the pinkies a little towards each other. Bend your knees as you come into chair pose. Try to shift a little bit more weight back with the hips and a little bit more weight into the heels. So lift up the 10 toes slightly and then just gently set them down. Stay here for 2 breaths. Now keep the right foot grounded, step the left foot back, finding a warrior one posture. So the back foot could be about 45 degrees. Try to keep the front knee over the front ankle. Pinkies towards each other. And really press through the entire back foot in order to reach a little bit higher up. So stay in here for 1 more breath. Now from here, turn your palms to face forward. And as you exhale, bring the hands down, but keep your torso straight and straighten the front knee. Turn your palms to face forward once again. Inhale as you come back to warrior one.
It's like an ocean wave.
This one feels good. Exhaling down.
Never done
And
this
then
before.
inhaling up. Try to create some resistance for the hands. And then one more time. Now pop up your back heel as you find high lunge. Now the back knee and the back foot face the front this time. Keep the front knee over the front ankle. And try to spiral the pinkies a little towards each other. One breath here.
I can't see. Is my back foot okay?
I would lift the back heel up if you can.
Oh, got it.
Good. And really press through the ball of the back foot to keep you stable. Find your left hand, bring your left hand forward, right hand back, look over the right shoulder. And one more breath here.
I need those breathing cues. Forget to breathe.
And then slowly come back into high lunge. And then step the left foot to the front as you sit down into chair pose. Okay. Again, lift up the 10 toes, set them down slightly. Some more weight in the heels. Keep the left foot pressed, step the right foot back. Warrior one on the opposite side. Turn the palms to face forward.
I can feel my thighs burning.
Yeah. And then as you exhale, bringing the hands down. Keep the torso neutral. Inhale the arms up. Exhaling down. And then let's do that twice more. Now as you stay up here, pop up the back heel as you find high lunge. So try to keep the front knee over the front ankle and the back leg straight if you can. Spiral the pinkies a little towards each other. Now reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling to create some more length And then keep this length as you bring the right hand forward, left hand back. Really try to open up the chest here. Take 2 breaths. Slowly come back to high lunge. And then step the right foot to the front. Feet about hips width distance, hands at heart center. And just take a moment to let everything settle down. You can close your eyes for 2 breaths. As you open your eyes, turn your right foot out. And we'll do tree pose. So tree pose could be here. It could be under the knee or above the knee. So any version that works for you today.
I'm gonna try and be ambitious.
We'll both try it. And since we're doing it on a soft surface with the carpet, it makes it a little bit more challenge.
Right, that's true.
You can reach your arms up as well. It's almost like doing it on the beach.
Yeah, on the sand. Right?
Yep. And then slowly come out of it. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So turn your left foot out. Find a place. Could be on the shin, below the knee, or above the knee. And just notice one side is a little more challenging than the other.
Right.
That happens a lot as well.
That's good to know I'm normal. Because that is.
And then begin to slowly come out of it. Find your feet about hips width distance here. And then inhale your arms up. Bend the knees as you forward fold. Inhale into a half lift. And then place your hands on the ground. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot back as you find upper push-up plank. So just like we did before, make sure your chest isn't collapsing down, so really press the floor away. Knees on the ground is a good way to mortify.
No.
Any one of these. You're still going to work really hard.
Thank you, Greg. And but that's fine. I'll go with the modification.
Okay, good. We'll show 2 options. So, okay, we'll take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, either downward facing dog or child's pose. So you can try it with child's pose. And then as you inhale, slowly come back to modified plank. Or this version of plank.
Okay, now I'm a little stronger. Maybe I'll try that. As long as you don't say 10 minutes yet.
No, I don't think we have 10 minutes left.
No.
You do that 3 more times. So when you roll through, try to spend as much time and focus on the transition as you are at the 2 postures. Think about quality of movement. And then just once more. Rolling up into plank. And then coming all the way down to the ground. So you can either lower the knees down and lower down. Bring your arms by your sides. Palms face down. Just take a moment to settle in. And then first peel the chest off the ground. Lift the arms off. Look forward and down so you're not overstretching the neck. Lift the feet off and maybe lift the thighs off. Take 3 breaths here. And then lower down. Bring the palms to face up and put the right ear to the ground. Take 2 moments to rest. And we'll do that one more time. So have your palms face down. Lift the chest off. Make sure the neck feels good. Lift the arms off. Lift the thighs and the feet off. 3 breaths. Trying to engage all those back muscles that are keeping you in place. And one more deep inhale. As you lower down, put the opposite ear to the ground and take 2 moments to rest.
One. Okay. We have 1 minute.
And from here, looking over to your back. Bring your feet about hips width distance. And then press into the heels as you lift the hips up. Try to shimmy the shoulders together. And if it's accessible, you can interlace the fingers behind your back or just keep them on the ground. Think about lifting the chest up as you press through the heels.
While we are marinating here in this posture, I'd like to acknowledge my crew, Antonio, Lizette, Nuriel, and Corey. Thank you so much. On behalf of my team, we'd like to acknowledge Gregory Knopp. Check him out. Go to his website, flowbk.com. And you are watching Yoga Express, 7:30 to 8 every Monday a.m.